Why'd she eat your hair?
I don't know, because she wanted to eat it because she was hungry for hair.
Welcome to Watch Mojo. And today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 banned kids' toys.
There were actually 6,100 lawn dart injuries treated in the nation's hospital emergency rooms since 1978.
For this list, we'll be looking at questionable toys that have long since been taken off store shelves due to their inherent safety issues. Some may have been resold later after fixing the issues, but if the toy was ever banned, it's fair game. Did you ever play with a banned toy? Let us know in the comments. Number 10. Sky Dancers. Who would have thought something so cute would get yanked off the shelf?
Sky dancers, sky dancers, sky dancers never knew.
Released in 1994, these skinny plastic dolls came with foam wings and a little base to set her in. When you pulled the string on the back, the wings would spin like a helicopter and the doll would fly into the air.
Wow, she's flying! Sky dancers fly, fly just for you. Pretty sky dancers, fly for me too. You make her dance and fly.
Incredibly popular at the time, the toys were given a recall due to the unpredictable nature of how they flew.
Careful, kid. He might poke your eye out.
Repeated eye injuries, broken teeth, blindness, and even severe cuts were all caused by the out-of-control spinning dolls. Number 9. Atomic Lab Kits. Sold in the 1950s, the Gilbert U-238 Atomic Energy Lab gave kids the radioactive material needed to unleash nuclear and chemical reactions. From the lens of a 21st century parent, you'd question how anyone ever thought this was a good idea.
My name is Sheldon Cooper, and I'm trying to build a nuclear reactor, and I could use his help.
Included in the sets were compounds that emitted beta and gamma rays, both of which are radioactive. It was pitched as being completely safe as long as you followed the instructions carefully, which we all know kids do so well.
Vent radioactive gas, NO.
Thankfully, the $50 price tag was far too high to make it attractive in those days, forcing it off store shelves before it even sold 5,000 kits. Number 8. Clackers. For the 1960s, the concept was fairly simple. Take two balls and attach them to a string, and children can swing them around. When they collide, they make a big clacking sound, which the kids will adore.
Unbreakable miracle clackers are for everyone, even the little guys.
It was all fine and dandy until the balls started exploding. With enough force applied, the collision would cause the balls to shatter, sending shards of glass or plastic in any direction.
The new original miracle clackers won't shatter, even if you use both hands.
Reports of facial and other injuries caused the toy to be pulled from the market before resurfacing again in the 1990s. More modern materials prevented the exploding balls from hurting anyone further. Number 7. Buckyballs. You can market it to older kids all you want.
The magnets can adhere to each other, and then it can cause intestinal injury or damage.
That's not going to stop the younger ones from playing with them. Buckyballs were a set of small, powerful magnets that would stick together to form various shapes. Each magnet was about 5 millimeters wide, just small enough for a young kid to swallow.
The company and CPSC have been warning for a long time. This is a product not intended for kids, yet the incidents still happen.
Countless reports of children ingesting the magnets caused a recall on the toy in 2012. Forcing the company to issue $375,000 worth of refunds.
This x-ray shows a ring of 18 Buckyballs lodged in his stomach.
That didn't, however, stop Buckyballs founder Craig Zucker from trying again. Specs are essentially the same toy with a new name and logo. Number 6. Yo-Yo Water Balls. Have you ever played with a paddle ball? You know, that rubber ball attached to a string with a paddle?
This friggin' thing is water!
Now imagine your hand is the paddle, the string is a bungee cord, and the ball contains a nondescript fluid. That's the concept behind the yo-yo ball. It sounded innocent enough, but many issues have arisen from it. There was, of course, the potential choking hazard it posed if the cord was wrapped around you in the wrong way. The material it was made of was also highly flammable. If pulled too far, the snapback could be quite painful. And the liquid in the ball was toxic. Everything about this bouncing ball said it needed to come off shelves.
I'll bounce back. I always bounce back.
Number 5. kite tubes. When you're done watching this video, search YouTube for kite tube fail, and you'll see exactly why this kind of toy has no business on store shelves. It's essentially a modified inner tube designed to catch air while being dragged behind a boat. Once airborne, neither the boat driver or the passengers had any control over how the tube would react to the air current.
Hello? Mrs. Pommelhorst? I'd like to get down now.
In many cases, it would flip or turn suddenly, forcefully ejecting its passengers into the air. Broken bones, punctured lungs, and damaged eardrums are all injuries sustained as a result of the violent crash back into the water.
Elvis has left the building!
The kite was quickly recalled and flying boat tubes were made illegal. Number 4. Snack Time Cabbage Patch Kid. No one would ever argue that Cabbage Patch Kids were a huge wave in the toy industry, but not every new doll was a success.
She's my Cabbage Patch Snack Time Kid. She really loves to snack.
Wow, she really chews.
Released in 1996, the Snack Time Kid was intended to allow children to feed their doll any number of plastic treats. Innocent at first, kids quickly discovered the mouth wouldn't stop until whatever it ate was fully immersed in their little friend. Combine that with an overpowered motor, kids were getting their fingers and hair stuck in the dolls, with no way to stop them from eating.
After I got the battery, I had to see if I could, push a button or something, a lever, and pull the hair back through. But as the hair went in, it intertwined into the gear, and then we couldn't get it out.
By 1997, Mattel gave up on the hungry hippo-like doll and offered refunds to parents who had purchased the product.
If you pulled on the doll, it only grabbed more, and it was pulling her hair away from her scalp.
Number 3. Austin Magic Pistol. Say what you want about toy guns, but they have been a staple of the toy industry for as long as guns have been around. But for a brief time in the late 1940s, this magic pistol was no ordinary play firearm. Using a combination of calcium carbide and water, the gun would propel ping-pong-sized balls from the barrel for distances well over 70 feet.
Oh, that was a good one.
The biggest problem with this toy was the fact that it gave children access to a literal explosive compound that could go off with as little as a couple of drops of sweat. Combine that with the splash of sparks that often erupted from the weapon, everything about this toy spelled dangerous. Number 2. Aquadots. Similar in some ways to today's perler beads, aquadots, also known as bindies, are small beads that can be used to create creative designs on small pegboards.
Aquadot!
The magical dots you create, spray, and play.
Like other swallow hazard toys, younger children would accidentally ingest the beads. That wasn't, however, what triggered the ban and subsequent massive recall.
The complete Super Studio playset includes the pop and load pen, the speed dryer, the aqua sprayer.
The beads were made of butane diol, which when ingested converts to a sedative known as GHB, or gamma hydroxybutyric acid. Incidents of children swallowing and suffering adverse effects were widely reported.
He just started weaving kind of like he was drunk or something, and he fell down.
Concerns were also addressed about the beads being used as a recreational drug. The ingredients were eventually replaced with safer ones, allowing the toy to be brought back to store shelves.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications.
Number 1. Lawn darts.
It was on April 5th, 1987, that David Snow's world fell apart.
And you thought getting hit with a regular dart was bad. Lawn darts were a staple of outdoor games for many years. Shaped like their smaller counterpart, the metal pointed ends were quite heavy. Propelled by hand into the air in an arch to hit a circle target, the darts would have been harmless if they had only hit the grass.
By afternoon, she was in a coma.
Thousands of injuries from lacerations, concussions, and even death were reportedly tied to the unsafe usage of this outdoor field game.
When they're dropped from 15 feet, when they hit, this is 23,000 pounds per square inch.
They were banned in the US in 1988 and then in Canada in 1989. Less dangerous substitutes have since been released, all with no metal tips.
Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from WatchMojo, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.